As you can see, we have the game loaded up, and despite moving the volume knob to whatever position possible, there's no volume, so we're going to try and fix that. So to replace the speaker and to fix the problem, we're going to need soldering supplies. As you can see here, we have the solder itself, the material, along with a pump to remove any excess solder. We also have the replacement Gameboy Colour speaker, along with a tri-wing screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver. In order to access the speaker, we're going to need to remove 6 tri-wing screws. They're going to be 2 at the bottom inside the battery compartment, another 2 on the left side, and then another 2 on the right side. Once you remove the 6 tri-wing screws, you can lift the back off the front and it will be removed as such. Now would be a good time to try and clean anything that you may accumulated throughout the years. So you can see some dust and perhaps some grime that'll clean off there. And once we have done that, you're going to have to remove several screws. This is where the Phillips head screwdriver comes in. You're going to remove this one, and that one. You're also going to have to disconnect this ribbon cable over here with these black tabs. And once you do that, you can finally remove the motherboard up from the casing and access the speaker to replace. So once you remove the 3 Phillips head screws, there is enough leverage where you could gently lift the board up without disconnecting the ribbon cable to get access to the speaker. Now we're going to plug in the solder to get rid of the old speaker and put in the new one. So I managed to solder the new Gameboy Colour speaker on. There's the old one, and when you're putting the Phillips head screws back to hold the motherboard in place to the casing, just want to remember that there's 3 of them and that they go into the holes with the outer circle on the board. So unfortunately, after replacing the speaker, that didn't actually solve the problem for me. However, another thing that you could do to easily fix this solution is just to grab some isopropyl alcohol. And if you observe here in the headphone jack, if it wants to focus for me, it's rather difficult to show, but there's actually a slim piece of metal here that comes into contact with this metal point right here. And what you want to do is you want to take a headphone, insert that in there, and if you observe right there, that metal pin was touching this point and now goes out to the side. So once you do that, you want to grab some isopropyl alcohol, take a toothbrush and clean as well as you can. To get a more thorough cleaning, however, you want to grab an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, something thin enough, and you just want to gently scrape the contact points between here and that other metal tab, and that should fix the problem. Just a quick recommendation, I highly recommend that you clean the game that you want to use on your Game Boy. You just take the isopropyl alcohol and gently scrub the contact points of the cartridge. It's also a good idea to take the isopropyl alcohol and clean the motherboard along with any other components that are electronic of the Game Boy. Alright, so I've screwed the Game Boy together. Now here is the moment of truth. So as you can see, it finally works great and we solved the problem. Thank you guys for watching and I hope this helped.